Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen, and today I'm here with Scrap Lift Crafternoon, which is a hop started by Kimberly at I'd Rather Be Scrapbooking and Christine Hardin, and their links are below. And then this is the layout that they have decided to scrap lift, and this is by Crafty Meggy, and you can find her on YouTube as well as on Instagram, and there is her Instagram account, Crafty Meggy, Meggy, and those will be linked below so that you can follow along and watch some of her awesome layouts. She's got lots of detail and some simple and more detailed layouts. And in her sketch there, or in her layout, she's got two pictures. So I have two pictures of my daughter and my niece in their senior pictures. And I decided to use this Vicki Boutin Art for Everyone. It is folly colored, and these pictures were taken in October. I also picked these two Vicki Boutin thickers, one of which I don't use at all, but this Hello Friend I do pull quite a few things off of. The Art for Everyone paper is like a dingy white, and that other thicker is white. And then I have this Stickabilities sticker sheet, and it's got like Wild and Free, Coffee and Conquer, just some really cute phrases on there. And then I have these pretty little Studios leaves that my friend Anne-Marie gave me. And then I also pulled these Tim Holtz chipboard phrases, but I don't end up using those because I find enough on the Hello Friend thicker sheet. And then this is my ephemera box for Vicki Boutin. Some of it is specific to color study and some of it is not. And so I'm going to pull a few things out of there in a little while. So I've got my ephemera and some paper, some stickers, these great pictures, and then this awesome layout by Crafty Meggy. So let's see how this goes. So the first thing I did was I cut my picture in half so that I created this on my Project Life app. So it's just two pictures that I had, and like I said, they're 3x4. And so then I have to go through my book and determine what papers I want to use. So I love this book. I used almost every single stitch of the one I had before, and when I saw this at Tuesday morning, I had to have it. I just love it. So I'm looking through the cut aparts because there is a journaling space on the right side of her little miniature layout. And so I'm trying to decide if I want to use one of those cut aparts as my journal. Oh, I love that paper right there. Front and back of that is my favorite sheet of paper in there. And then there's this cut apart that's got like this little tasseled banner, and she uses one of those in her layout, so I considered using that. But then the background paper I choose to use is black, or predominantly black, and that's what color the tassels are, so I know it'll disappear. So these are the 3 layers of papers that I want to use, not that leafy bit, but the back of it, which is this gorgeous black. It's like a honeycomb. It's got a bunch of hexagons on it, and it kind of looks like there's just some mixed media already on it. So, spoiler alert, I don't use mixed media on this layout. It might be one of the first ones this entire 30 days of sketches that I've been doing, as well as these Scrap Lift Crafternoons. So I am making sure that I like the way these are going to layer, because this is what I'm considering my layers to be. Her layout has a base page that has a pattern in it, and then it's got like a red background. That hers probably is more like a 7x7. Mine is going to end up being an 8x8, and the paper she uses to mat the like small layout that's pretty much on the page. She also uses to mat the pictures. So that is what I'm going to do. But I love this paper so much, I'm going to gut an 8x8 out of the middle. Actually, I think I end up gutting like a 9x9 and just trim a little bit off of it. So that way I can still use the outline of that, either that side or the other side of the yellow paper, to mat a layout or use in the future. So then I am going to trim this down to to the 8x8 that I want it to be. And then I gut that 8x8, which is right there at the top right. And I'm going to use that part that I gutted out to mat my pictures. So this isn't big enough for both my 3x4 pictures, but that's okay. I have learned how to piece paper together to where you just don't even realize it. So you have to be looking pretty closely at this layout, and I'm not sure I'd notice if I didn't know it was there. At the top left picture, the top left of the right picture. Did you follow all that? Because that is where there is a small difference in the paper. Now, if it's a seriously patterned paper, it's a little bit more complicated because you got to line the patterns up. But this yellow paper has like these squiggly lines in it, and it's not bold, so the little lines don't stand out. Plus, it's such a small, itty-bitty, not even like an eighth of an inch maybe, border around that picture that you can barely tell. So you'll have to let me know if you can tell when you get to the close-ups towards the end. So now I have the 8x8 yellow paper, and I've matted my little pictures. So now I want to cut this heart paper down to a 7x7, and I debated back and forth about gutting it, but I really want the majority of these hearts to be the reds, orange, and yellow. I'm fine with bringing in that green and blue and stuff, but the reds are the colors that are going to bring out the color in the picture the best, because my daughter is wearing like a burgundy pinkish colored shirt, and they're standing against a house that is actually like a peachy pinky color. So I just figured, and then my niece I think actually has like red on her her shirt. So I get those lined up, and I've decided that I'm going to put the picture right there down flat on the page, but I want to put this other picture up on foam so that it gives a little bit of difference down there where the yellow meets the yellow, as well as it just gives a little bit more dimension to the layout. So I put that up on foam, and I'm just use some, it's not fun foam because there's no adhesive on either side. I put some adhesive down, and I do use some double-sided tape as well as my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, because the tape gives it an instant hold, and then the Nuvo, dries pretty quickly, but it just gives me that little extra bit of security so that it's not going to move around on my layout. So I put my tape runner around the inside of this yellow frame, and I am going to actually line it up on my mat, you all. Look at me using my mat. Oh, great. I mean, it's there for a reason. I don't know why I constantly just don't even use that to line things up. I just eyeball it. So this is what I'm talking about, a mini layout. I feel like that piece, that 8x8 is almost like I'm creating my own little layout, and then I'm going to just put it on this piece of paper. And of course I'm going to decorate some things on the outside of that paper, but it's almost like its own little layout. So I turned that black paper because the honeycomb mixed media look is more predominant on that right side, and when it was turned the other direction, it was mostly getting covered up, and I really like that being there, especially since I don't add my own mixed media. So I am now going to start going through everything, and I leave these Tim Holtz things up here because I am thinking I'm going to use at least one of them, but because I find so many great things on that Hello Friend that's over there on the left, I don't end up using them. So I have this camera by Jolie's. It is 3-dimensional, and I've had it for a long time, and you can tell that it is broken, like the little strap is off. So that's an easy fix. I just get some Nuvo Deluxe and tack that down, but I'm like having a hard time deciding what I want to do with the strap, and I don't know how much of that I cut out, but I fight with it because I don't want it to be covering the picture, and I don't want it to be hanging down. It's just kind of like a debate back and forth, and I fiddle with it a little, well, not a little, a lot. But I take one of the stickers off of the stickability sheet, and it says develop from the negatives, and has a camera and a little floral on it, and I love that. Even though I'm planning on putting this Jolie's 3-dimensional camera on there, I really just want that on there too. So I put that down there, and it says, like I said, develop from the negatives, which is very perfect and fitting for this layout. And considering our girls are just about to go into 2020, they have no clue at this point in their life that their entire senior year is going to be like shot. So with the pandemic. So this is October 2019. So we went for this big photo shoot with a friend of mine who is a teacher, and her husband also do run photography, and they are amazing. And they just walked around with us downtown where we live and took all these really amazing layouts. Pictures. Well, everything's about a scrapbook to me. So I'm going through the ephemera, trying to find a journaling spot that I can use. I want it to be that white color that's like a dirty white. It's not really off-white, and it's not really white or ecru or anything. It's just kind of like a dingy white, like it's been through the laundry a couple of times. So I found this one chipboard on the Hello Friend, and it says every picture tells a story. Well, I thought that was just the most amazing thing. So look at that teal text print. Oh, that's the back of that heart paper. I love that so much. I have a hard time covering that and not using that side, but I love the hearts too. Oh, I have a serious problem with beautiful papers, having beautiful papers on the back. I need them to have like cut apart and not as lovely pictures and papers on the back. So I decided to pick this one that says today was, and then it's got a little place for you to mark awesome, not the best, or other, and then because. And the brown stripe in that matches the brown in not only the chipboard that's at the top, but that banner that I'm going to use at the top. And then it also has black, which is, of course, the background paper. And so I like the way that works, and I lay that down. And then I am going to get started trying to decorate the rest of the page and create this layout. And I can't see what my little hands are doing over there. I think I'm making the banner. I don't know if y'all have ever used this app. I can't even tell you what it's called right now. But I can't see everything at the bottom because there's a little recording block there. And so anyway, sorry about that. So I get that down and I turned it sideways so that I could actually use my mat again and measure and make sure that it was looking straight. And so I get that down, and now I am going to use this camera, and I get this foam, and this must have come from like the dollar store or something like that. It's super thin. It's probably like the same depth of like 2 or 3 sheets of cardstock. It's not very thick at all, but it's just enough so that the strap can get tucked behind there and not make it bulky looking. So I pull out these pretty little studio leaves. You all, I did a layout the other day, and in the video I kept saying Pretty Little Liars. I don't even watch that show. I have no clue why I kept saying that, but I certainly did twice, I think. So, yep. So I'm making it very clear that it is Pretty Little Studios leaves, and I think that I picked those two because they actually match the colors in the hearts. I went through the whole kit, and the rest of them are like pinks and purples, and I don't have any of that in this layout except for on that camera. So I just used the two. And because on the sketch or on the layout that Crafty Meggy has, she's got like a floral up there in the top left corner, and I love that. So I wanted to do that. So I just glued the little stems because they're not going to be seen. And because, when you glue and tape on vellum, it could shine through, and I didn't want that. So I just put that down there. And then I put this little floral that came from that stickability sheet. So there's a floral that matches the one from the camera on the layout as well. So it brings that same design and color pattern up to the top. And then I have a couple other ones, and I tuck those up here above and below the Every Picture Tells a Story. And then I line up that smile, which came from that Hello Friend. And I know that there is silver and gold on this layout, and I'm okay with that. Originally, I thought I was going to just go with gold because I used that develop from the negatives, and the word develop is in gold, but the camera's silver. And so then that smile is silver, and I thought, well, I'm just going to run with it and bring in some more gold and silver. It'll be fabulous. So while I am getting all these little bits and pieces on, I found this little thing that says Fab, and it's black and it's got gold. I wanted to bring a little more gold in. I'm trying to find a good place for it. But while I am looking for a good place for that, I just want to strongly encourage you to go to Crafty Meggy's YouTube channel and watch some of her videos, or all of them. They are great. She has a really great eye for color and really explains everything that she's doing and why in a lot of cases. So it's just, she's got lots of different kits that she uses, and I think she's on a design team. I think that this is actually a design team layout that she was creating. So you should definitely check her out. Like I said, her link will be below. So I pulled out the Paper Studios enamel dots in gold and silver, and I made 3 clusters right above, one above the little camera next to the big one up there by the Every Picture Tells a Story, and then one by That Smile. And I just alternated between what was, one and one, which one had 2 colors and which had 1 color. And then I found this Click with Love, and I thought, oh my gosh, it's perfect. And it helps balance out the black because there's that little word phrase at the bottom that says live for the moments, and that also came from the Hello Friend. So I was super excited to have that. And then I added a little silver heart to the journaling space that also came from that Hello Friend. I just wanted the one because it gives a little bit more of that silver over on the black side, the right side of the page. So I am done, and I'm going to show you the close-up of her layout, and then I'll show you some close-ups of my layout. Like I said, please go below in the description box and follow along with the hop. I know that Kimberly and Christine would love for you to come and watch their videos. They are super creative, and we're all a little different in the way that we scrapbook, and it is so neat to watch how different people take the exact same thing and how it ends up. So I hope that you all will go below and check them out. And I would love it if you all would subscribe and like. Comment below would be awesome. I will definitely get back to you. And I would love it if you all would come back again tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow with a 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. So, and then next Sunday with another Scrap Lift Crafternoon. Have a great day and happy scrapping.